We didn't say I was gonna help you out, but you're gonna have to help me out in return. There's nothing free in this world. Well, it turns out she didn't put out. Who she suffered pain? She suffered the pain of getting kicked out. And she was going through a mental breakdown. And she was telling everybody, man, this guy, I'm over here in LA, I got no money. This jerk like flew me out here, he wanted something else, and I told him he's just a friend, and I just want to be friends and stuff like that, that I don't think about him like that. Obviously she didn't keep her end of the bargain. And no man will fly a woman out and pay hundreds of dollars just so that he could be friends with someone. You could be friends with someone online. You don't have to be friends physically. So she got kicked out, and she was almost homeless in Los Angeles. And the thing that happened was she robbed the guy, because she was at his apartment, and he said, oh, I'm gonna go get food. And she said, all right, go get some food, and I'll stay here. While she was staying there, she ransacked his house. And the day before she left his house, she destroyed his house. So now she committed a felony on live. It's called live. So now she has evidence of her destroying property because she didn't want to put out to some ugly creep, and now the ugly creep has to suffer losses because he lost the money for the plane, which was like $300. He lost money that was stolen from him from the girl, and his apartment got destroyed. So now he's got to live with the losses. So there's pain that is accumulating in both of their lives because both of them saw something that could have been good. They risked it, and they both came out failing. So now this girl has a felony warrant for her, and this other guy, I'm pretty sure she'll probably try to say, oh, you know what, this guy tried to solicit sex from me online. So now this guy, if this guy turns her in, he'll go to jail for soliciting sex, and she'll go to jail for felony. And these are all choices that we make. Now, when you have a felony warrant, that doesn't sit good on your brain. It almost feels better to get it finished. Say, you know what? I'm not gonna live with the thought of me having a felony warrant in my brain. I'm gonna turn myself in. I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna try to make this good. Yeah, I messed up his fucking house. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to work with him, or at the very least, go to jail and pay it that way. Okay, I screwed up. I ransacked his house. I stole, and I'm gonna go to prison for it. So she'll suffer a year of pain in prison, and that's what she's gonna go through. She made the choice to do that. She put herself out there. She was living in a small town. She was very popular because she was beautiful. The only reason why she was popular was because she's beautiful. An old creep with $1,000 and an apartment, a shitty apartment in LA, thought, oh man, if I freaking finesse this chick, tell her I'll fly you out of LA, and you gotta help me out and I'll help you out, which basically means you have sex with me, I'll buy your food, I'll freaking give you money. I guess she didn't see what this guy looked like, and he was a complete freaking mutant, and she just couldn't do it. She couldn't pay the piper, which is what it is. And she was not happy with it because he said, all right, you're not paying the piper, you're getting evicted. You don't stay here. Goodbye. Like, I don't have to pay your rent if you're not doing nothing in return. You could at least pay me back for what I did for you. Pay me back for the plane. Pay me back for all the time that I lost doing this because I didn't get nothing in return. But instead of that happening, he got stolen more. And she got a felony. So they both lose. Because they're both being creeps. The girl was trying to finesse her way to LA, and the guy was trying to finesse his way into the girl's pants. They couldn't reach an agreement. The guy was probably a fucking mutant, because I know women, like beautiful women, you could talk to them, but I guess he was being extra creepy. I was gonna say extra crispy. He's being extra creepy as fuck. It didn't work out for none of them. And the only thing that came out of it was that I got some sort of pleasure out of it. Because I was getting entertained in real time. Watching people lose their mind. When the woman went back to her place, she was still beautiful. She was still attractive. Guys throwing themselves at her. But now she has a mental pain. Or she has a felony now. She has a felony to think about every day. And there's evidence. There was thousands of people watching her commit felony. She was young too. She was like 18 or 19 years old. And she committed a felony on camera, and she was the one filming it, and she was admitting to all the crimes, and she was so young and dumb, she was not realizing that she was committing a crime. She committed a felonies. The other guy did so too, but it was off the camera. But with her testimony and all that stuff, she could probably say, you know what, this guy forced himself on me, he did this, he tried to rape me, he tried to do this, and now that guy's life is going to be ruined, and that girl's life going to be ruined. If you ask me, it would have been just easy to say, you know what, let's just do it one time, and pay me like freaking $500, and I'll go on my way. That would be it. That would be like, all right, that way you can avoid the felonies of each other. And you reach an agreement and you say, you know what, if you ransack my house and all that shit. But the thing is, like, when you're emotional, when you're going through stress, when you're alone in a different state or in a different city, you have no money, you have no friends, you have no contacts, you have nothing. You're all alone, your back is against the wall. Some dude, some creepy bastard's trying to get in your pants. And you don't know anybody. No one will help you. You don't know the city. You don't know the streets. You don't know where the hell you're at. You don't know nothing. I could imagine how scared that chick was. But you know what? At the end of the day, she's an adult. She made that decision to fly to go see that creep. So I have very little sympathy for her. She got on a plane and she took the money from a stranger. And sometimes life is like that. You get a temptation, but you know that temptation comes at a very high cost. That's when your brain has to do a little bit of calculation and say, all right, what's the chances of this going wrong? Sometimes you can calculate it, sometimes you can't really calculate it, and it's just unforeseen circumstances. You do not know how it's going to play out. And this did not play out well at all for the girl. So now she's still on her life. She's still on social media. But I could see that her brain, her mental strength is being tested, and she's losing her mind, and she's doing lots of drugs right now. And she's admitting online, she's like, you know what, I'm freaking not feeling good, I'm gonna do more drugs. And she's doing drugs. Then she does harder drugs like cocaine. She drugs, and then once she runs out of money to do cocaine, then she starts doing crack. We don't know exactly what happened in that house. All we know is that it did not end fucking well. It could be that she was raped. Could be that she was attempted to get raped. I don't know what happened, but she put herself in that situation, and she's an adult. She's gonna get a lot of, hopefully she gets a lot of understanding from this, because she got a lot of experience. Don't fucking mess with creeps online that offer you money. It's kind of hard if you're broke, you live in a small town, and you talk to someone, because I have been offered that too. Like, I would talk to girls on live, and they say, oh, where are you from? I would say, where are you from? And they say, oh, I'm from a small town in freaking Minnesota or whatever, wherever. And I say, oh, I'm from LA. And they say, oh, you're from LA, I want to go to LA so bad, like, can we go? Like, I'm looking to go move to LA. I said, well, come down, and we could do something. We could talk and see, get you situated over here in LA. And some of the girls straight away ask me, are you gonna pay for my flight to go to LA? Like, all cute and shit like that. I say, hell no. I always say hell no, or F no. I would never pay for a woman's flight to go from a shitty town to over here. It doesn't logically make sense, because once they hit LA, I'm down the money for the flight, and they could just go somewhere else with some other guy. There's millions of creeps in LA with money. Trust me, I know this shit. They're decent people, but they're mad simps, bro. They're mad simps in LA. There's some desperate dudes, and there's dudes in their 50s and 60s still creeping on girls that are 18, 19. I just like to watch and freaking get entertained. So I see these things that these girls try to pull, and they try to pull that shit on me, but I know better, because I get wisdom like crazy, bro. That's my hobby. That's my passion, is wisdom. Now, also know wisdom don't make you rich and all that crap, but it'll make you happy, and it'll prevent you from creating big ass mistakes, like shelling out money for a plane for some girl so that she could call some other dude that's in LA and say, oh, some freaking creep flew me to LA, come pick me up at the airport. And then she hooks up with that guy. And what did I get in return? Nothing at all but embarrassment and pain. So the guy was lucky enough to have the girl actually meet him in an apartment, because he gave her more temptation. He was leaving like the little crumbs. He was leaving the little cookies for them to go to the apartment, go to the bedroom and stuff like that. Just a little temptation here, there. He knows that they're poor. Just because you're beautiful doesn't mean you're making money. And most of the time, very pretty girls, they spend most of their time trying to be pretty. And being pretty is fucking expensive. Getting your hair done is not freaking $10 like a dude. I haven't cut my hair in months, years, probably months. I didn't pay a dime to cut my hair. I don't even own a comb. It's probably why you say my hair looks like shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care that it looks like shit. I'd rather spend my money on other things, and I also know I could freaking bag these chicks Easy. If I wanted to. If they're freaking flying from all these countries to LA to sleep with some of these dudes, these creepy bastards, I am freaking commercial real estate here. I live in LA. Lots of women hit me up to come to LA. Now, some of them try to finesse me. A lot of them, almost all of them. So I don't fall for their shit. I say, look, get some money together, fly to LA and come meet me. Most of the time they don't want to meet me. They want to meet an attractive guy in LA. They just want the ugly person or the ugly creep to pay for it. So I'd rather not have it. If you want to get to know me, you want to do something, we can do that, but I'm not going to be paying this fucking money for your ass. Fucking lips are chapped. It's getting dry over here. Alright. What the hell? Alright, so we're back on the topic of mental strengths. Just because you're rich, just because you're beautiful, just because you belong to an elite family, or you have a good life, or you have people taking care of you, does not mean you do not go through pain. And how you process that pain determines your mental strengths. Now me, I always say,